Want to learn a new word that'll impress your friends?
Silviculture is the science and art of developing and caring for forests.
Developing and caring for forests is no easy job, but it does sound like a lot of fun. So I've arranged for us to hang out with someone who does just that. Ready? Let's go!
Terri Galinsky is a forester, or should I say, silviculturalist, for a timberland company called Plum Creek.
So your job sounds pretty complicated. What exactly does a forester do?
Well, a forester evaluates the health of forests, what kind of forests they are, what their past was, and what their future could be.
One of the tools Terri uses to do her job is the computer. Before we came out here, Terri showed me how she can zoom in on a certain part of the forest and find out all sorts of information, like what kind of trees are there and what it looks like from the air. Once she gets to the forest, she can use GPS to find the spot she was looking at.
And some of the characteristics that jumped out to me then were that it was of a certain age and that nobody had done any harvest activities out here for more than 20 years. So that's kind of a flag to me to go check it out. Really what it's all about is the amount of sunlight that's coming down into the stand, you know. Trees need sunlight, they need water to make their food, and they need soil to grow in. I can control the amount of light that filters through the stand, and that's where forestry comes into play.
Oh, cool.
In order to open up room for trees to get enough sunlight, foresters figure out which tree should stay and which one should be harvested.
In order to pick those trees, I look at a lot of different things. I look at the health of the tree. Does it have a nice big canopy to collect a lot of light? Is it kind of sick? Does it have a bug infection? And the other thing I look at is how many trees I have to work with.
That's where this angle gauge comes in. Terri looks down the end of her angle gauge at all the trees around her. If a tree looks wider than the metal end of the gauge, she counts it. She continues to count until she has spun around full circle. In this area, she counts 10 trees. Since she's trying to keep at least 7 bigger trees per acre, she knows she can mark 2 or 3 for harvesting. One of the trees she thinks should be harvested is this ash tree.
This particular ash tree here has a fork up towards the top. That's a place where if you have a good windstorm, that's where the tree will break, is right there. So it makes it more prone to damage in the future.
When deciding which trees to harvest, foresters also think about how each tree will be used. This maple will be ideal for sawing into furniture once it's bigger. Because foresters need a way to get to the forest they manage, they also need to know how to build roads. If a road is built the right way, it protects the environment and actually provides a pathway for animals to use too.
I try to take into account not only the trees that are growing on the land, but the animals that are using the trees and the land.
For example, Terri has chosen to leave this dead basswood tree standing because woodpeckers and even bears like to hunt for insects under its bark. Last but not least, foresters like Terri make sure they protect one of the most important resources of all.
I pay special attention to water because we can very much affect water quality through our harvesting activities, mostly through erosion. Here we're not going to cut anything along this edge. We're going to stop it right here, and then that way we'll protect this buffer area along the swamp.
So if I wanted to be a forester, what kind of subjects would I have to learn more about?
Well, definitely biology, studying different plant species and tree species and how they interact with each other and what we call ecosystems. Definitely animals and wildlife. Also mathematics too, and English and written skills, because foresters communicate with a lot of different people.
Well, that about wraps it up for me. Thanks a lot, Terri.
My pleasure, Sydney. Glad you had a good time in the woods today.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Portions of the preceding program were co-produced by the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources and Discover Wisconsin Productions as part of the children's television series Into the Outdoors.